with 5 New England offices or at northeastmenshealth.com. Jacoby, do we have you?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, very good. Speaking of Men's Health, how you feeling? You took a couple of pops in that game. I know we asked you the same question last week. Looked like after that Leonard Williams sack in particular, you're reaching down for the leg there. How's everything feeling today?
I feel good. Obviously a couple, routines, post-game soreness, but overall feel healthy.
So we saw you early in the game have to use your legs again, but this time more to sort of scramble, to throw the ball. Got a nice connection going with Hunter Henry. How do you think that played out? I know it's not ideal necessarily, but do you feel like you handled some of that early pressure well and were able to make the best of it?
Yeah, definitely. It's like you said, it's definitely not ideal, but having that ability to extend plays and obviously try to work on keeping my eyes down the field to keep guys down the field in sight. I think it went well. Obviously, being able to connect with Hunter, he made a lot of good plays in the scramble rule aspect of the game, and but yeah, like you said, it's definitely not ideal, but having that ability definitely helps.
Was that part of the game plan going into the installation of the offense this week, going to Hunter a lot, or was that something that just sort of made itself available as the game went on and that you just kept sort of going back to?
I think a little mixture of both. We definitely thought we had a favorable matchup with Hunter with a lot of the guys that were going to cover him. And we definitely tried to exploit it. And then, throughout the game, a lot of it just, happened organically. And, I think he made a lot of good plays yesterday. And, it was definitely a good day for him.
Watching practices this summer, there were two guys that you seemed to go to a lot throughout many days of practice, and it was Hunter Henry and Pop Douglas. Obviously, Hunter Henry, you continue to do that on the game field. Haven't been able to get Demario Douglas involved with the offense. No targets yesterday. Is that scheme? Is that you not having time to find him? Like, why haven't you guys been able to hook up?
It's something that we're working on, that's for sure. Obviously, he's a dynamic player, and me as a quarterback obviously has to find ways to get him the ball. But it's definitely something that we're looking at. I don't want to get into the overreaction thing about why is this or that not happening. It's the second game of the season, but it's definitely got to find ways to get him the ball. He's that good of a player that we honestly got to find a way to get a lot of our skilled players the ball and get them more involved in the game. So yeah, I think that I got to take responsibility for that.
So Douglas has expressed a little frustration with not getting targets, getting the ball, and I'm sure you've dealt with that at some point over your career with other wide receivers. How does that go when a receiver is frustrated, not getting the ball, talking to you, talking to the coordinator? How does that play out?
Yeah, I'm glad he's frustrated. That if he wasn't, that would be it would be more alarming than him not getting the ball, to be honest with you. But just explaining to him, man, it's you're gonna have those games where it happens like that. But like I said, it's the second game of the year. We're still trying to figure out our identity and how this thing's gonna play out as far as our offense. So it's a long season ahead. I told him, man, it's 15 games left. Right? I think we play 17 games now, so 15 games left, man. It's a lot of football left ahead of us. Obviously, we're still getting better. As a whole, individually, as an offense. So I'm glad that he's frustrated, but obviously you got to use the frustration towards the right way.
What type of adjustments did Seattle make that you noticed out there in the second half? Because it seemed like you were doing a lot more of what you wanted to do in the first half on that touchdown drive, a nice mixture of passing and running, and then in the second half it seemed like they made it a lot tougher. What did they do differently that maybe got you guys sort of thrown off a little bit?
I think we just hit a lull, man. It was weird because I thought we were having some good plays. Obviously we went 3 and out a couple of times, which is definitely not ideal, putting our defense back on the field, but I think we kind of just hit a lull, and we had like a lot of, when we go back and watch film, I know it's obviously like a lot of people that watch the game don't understand the scheme and things like that. We had a lot of self-inflicting things to where, we kind of put ourselves behind on the 8 ball, and then I think we kind of made it more tough on ourselves than I would say them, to be honest with you.
With a short week coming up here, obviously you have to compartmentalize everything and kind of speed up the process of preparing for a good defense in the New York Jets. What do you feel like you personally have to do to get this passing game off the ground?
No, we got to stay true to what we know, and just play our style of football, and those plays are going to happen, organically. We obviously, like I said, we we obviously got to get our receivers and our passing game more involved. But I think, it's just staying within ourselves, staying within the plan, not trying to go outside the ordinary and do like anything that, we haven't done on the practice field. And then I think the passing game will start to eventually, start to open up a lot. It's definitely something that we're obviously, trying to address, but and I think it'll come.
You mentioned post-game that you almost felt like they had a tell when you guys were going to take some shot plays. They went to two deep safeties. Did you, after watching the film, talking it over with the coaches, did you kind of figure that out? Were they just lucky and guessing well, or what was that all about?
I think it was a mixture of both. I think they understood what we were trying to do when we got into certain sets, because every team tries to do the same thing versus them. They brought a couple different blitzes that kind of ties you up to where you can't, really push the ball down the field versus them. And I think that was really it. I think they got lucky more than anything else, to be honest with you.
This time for the quarterback question of the week, brought to you by Northeast Men's Health, the experts in treating men's sexual health with 5 New England offices, or at northeastmenshealth.com. This comes to us from James in Sudbury, and he asked Jacoby, how would you characterize your relationship with your wide receivers?
I think it's good. A lot of those guys I talk to on a regular outside of just football things. So I would say it's good.
One of the plays that has gotten a lot of attention today was the third down sack before the field goal, which then unfortunately ends up getting blocked. You watch it on film, and you were under some pretty immediate pressure. When you watch that, is there anything you could have done differently to avoid the sack there?
I mean, I want to try to throw it away. I think that's probably the best answer. Yeah, try to throw the ball away.
Looking back on it now, obviously there was a couple of opportunities for you guys there with that play in particular, and to see a kick get blocked like that, obviously must have been tough to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Were there other plays that you sort of looked at? You kind of hinted at this a minute ago. Were there other plays you looked at that you think, man, if we had just been able to convert this or that or something? Was there another point in the game where you felt that way?
For sure. I mean, anytime, whether you win or you lose, there's always a couple of plays here and there that you always want back. And I think obviously when you lose a game, everything's kind of get like it's under a different microscope. But it definitely was a couple more plays that I know as a group we wanted back. And like I said, we look back at that film. It's just like locking in those crucial situations to to execute a little bit better.
Would one of those be the fourth down in overtime? I know there was some question as to whether a team that, prides itself on running the football and how well you've run the football maybe would go for it on 4th and 1 there in overtime. Were you hopeful of that? Did you expect that? Did you understand the decision? I know you don't get to make those decisions, but what was your view of that 4th and 1 decision?
Which one are you talking about again? Sorry.
Before 4th and 1 in overtime?
In overtime, 4th and 1, after you guys had the 3rd and 1 and then the penalty, and a lot of fans felt like that was an opportunity for a team that runs the ball really well to sort of establish its identity. Instead, you punt it away and unfortunately never get the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't make those calls. I think that's more of a Mayo question and those guys' questions than it is mine.
All right. Before we let you go here, Jacoby, it was the first game. You weren't here last year, so you don't know this or maybe don't remember it, but the team had a very, very tough time playing at home at Gillette, going 1-7. How was the crowd yesterday, and how was the general atmosphere here at Gillette Stadium?
I thought it was good. I thought it was sweet. A lot of people were there. The fans were rocking. Obviously, you heard them a lot. Obviously, when the defense had the ball, which is a good thing. But it was definitely a great turnout. Obviously didn't get the outcome that we wanted, but looking forward to the stadium being packed more games and obviously being on the other side. We brought it down to the wire, but you got to get on the other side of those type of wins, of those type of games. Sorry.
All right, thanks, Jacoby. That was a tough one. I know you took a little bit of a beating, and I know you got a short week here and a lot of work to do. So good luck getting things together for Thursday night.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.